Population geography is fascinating. Let's look at the great state of Kansas in the middle of the USA. Here is a population map showing 2020 census counts by county. Let's go ahead and label those. Now we've got the population counts by county. That tells us some information. I can see certain patterns here. Let's go ahead and filter that data. I'm going to filter it on the state of Kansas, which I've already done, because it covers the whole country. And I'm also going to say where the total population is greater than 118,000. You'll see why I'm doing that in a moment. Okay, so that means that 54% of all Kansans live in these 5 counties: Wyandotte County, Johnson County, Douglas County, Shawnee County, and Sedgwick County down here at Wichita. There are certain reasons for that. Historical settlement of the state, crops growing in certain kinds of soils, the settlement largely from east to west, the higher, more arid part in the west here, as you could see in our original map, having very low population counties, and indeed lower population now than before the Dust Bowl in 1930. 54% living in these 5 counties. Let's go ahead and remove the filter here. This is done in ArcGIS Online. You could do the same thing with ArcGIS Online at your fingertips. But look at these population counties here. 2,500, 3,000, there's 1,500 here, etc. How many counties are there in Kansas? All we need to do there is go to the layer and open up the table. We've got 105 records, meaning there are 105 counties in Kansas. These are all, you can see, state of Kansas. The population being focused and concentrated in certain counties means several things: land use, zoning, median age, the number of schools, hospitals, libraries, water, energy to support the population being so focused in certain counties. It's not to say that there is not people living in northern and western Kansas, but you can see here, once again, filter, state of Kansas, add expression, and we're going to say, I really want the total population to be greater than 118,000. Let's go ahead and change that filter now and say, I want it to be over 100,000. Give me all the counties where the population is at least 100,000. We still only have the 5 counties. What if we went down to 90,000? We still only have the 5 counties. Indeed, if I went back to the table, I could find out, well, what's the 6th most populous county? I've got a spreadsheet here because I have a geographic information system at my fingertips, a GIS, and it has total pop in it. So I can sort it, and I can see right now that if I sort the 609,000 as we saw in Johnson County and so on, if I scroll down here, I've got that 118,000 cut off, which is why I use that. What's the next highest county? Well, we still have the filter on, so we need to take the filter off, and I'm going to not take it all off. I'm just going to take this part of the filter off, and now I've got all of the counties in Kansas and beyond. So I'm going to go ahead and say state is Kansas, save, and now I've got 105 again, and I'm going to go to total population, and I'm going to scroll down. The next populous county is 81,000, so it's quite a bit below 100,000. What if we went down to 50,000? Let's do that. 50,000, I'm going to say state is Kansas, and I'm going to add an expression where the total population is at least, I'm going to say is greater than 50,000. Now, for many states, 50,000 is not that many people at all, but for Kansas, it's pretty big, because the total population for Kansas in 2020 was 2,937,880, so just less than 3 million people in the whole state. Fascinating. So now we've got a few more counties in here. We've got Riley County, we've got the county where Salina is, which I think is Saline County. Yes, it is. We've got Hutchinson, Kansas, which is in Reno County, and we've got Butler County as well. So now we have, let's go ahead and open up the table. Now we have 10 counties. We have 10 counties in Kansas. Now that we've got our 10 counties, we can click on that field of total population. We could go down here and we can see, yes, 10 counties. The sum of the values is 1,938,447. So if we take that number, 1,938,000, let's do that. Let's take that number divided by the total population of Kansas, 2,937,880, and now we've got 65%. 65% of all the Kansans are living in these 10 counties. 65%. You can see, again, the eastern, northeastern, and the south central. For various reasons. Settlement, as we saw earlier, we talked about, well, perhaps we should talk about the rise of the aerospace industry in Wichita and surrounding counties, and that provided economic opportunity, so people wanted to move there. Salina being at the junction between some major east-west routes, US 40 and then 81 there in Salina. I-70 now going through there, so major east-west, north-south intersection of not only highways but railroads. So you've got several factors happening. The Arkansas River flowing through the south-central part of Kansas provided a bit more conducive soils for growing crops and still does today. So you've got some reasons for historical and current settlement. Fascinating to look at this inside ArcGIS Online from Esri. Do the same thing with a state, a province, a country, a region that you're interested in. Population studies are fascinating. They open up new windows and doors to studying and to understanding geography and history. Thanks.